back, guys. It's us again. I'm Crystal.
I'm Kayla.
And today we're talking about Missouri State Penitentiary.
Good job.
Okay.
That wasn't as bad as last time.
Yeah.
Listen, before we even start, if you see us, looking this way, it's because we're sitting here talking about this place. And all of a sudden, Crystal's door, completely latched shut, just opened.
Yeah. Wide open.
And then I walk over to close it because she has dogs, so, I don't want them to, run out. It's shut. Right in front of me.
And latched.
And she's over here, and I'm by the door. And it latched, and she heard it. And then it opened again.
Crazy.
So if you see us looking that way, that's why.
Or, stop and get puzzled, did you just see that?
Or if you hear it, if it happens and you hear it, let us know. Because no one's here.
No.
The kids are outside playing. We're the only ones home. No one's coming through that door. Unless it's our little friends.
Yeah.
Speaking of, friends, we have a lot. And if you guys want to buy our merch, we have some now. So hit us up if you guys want some merch. We're going to start selling it soon. But yeah, today we're going to talk about Missouri State Pen. So it opened in 1836 and it operated for 168 years.
That's a long time.
That's an extremely long time.
Yeah.
And it was built on the Missouri River.
Yeah.
And the Missouri River, or water in general, is a conduit for energy.
Energy, yep.
So maybe that could be why it's a little spooky in there. Aside from all the, bad things that happen there.
Right.
So I don't think it's as aggressive
as some of the others.
As Moundsville was.
Yeah.
Moundsville was pretty rough.
That one is spooky.
But this one was the largest prison in the U.S. During its time. And it was weird because a lot of prisons, back then and even now, they didn't have both men and women.
Right.
This one did. So, when I researched that, I was like, dang, they had women and men both there.
Yeah.
At the same time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder, there had been a lot of stuff going on.
Had to. Because at first, they were in separate buildings, but there was no, divider between them.
You think they really had, interaction?
I mean...
Probably. I mean, they didn't have them separated, so they'd go to eat chow together, on the yard together.
Eat chow.
Chow.
Chow, chow.
It's chow time.
Oh, God.
Man.
I just really wonder if they had tents there.
Tent City?
Good old Tent City.
Oh, my God. Can't get over Tent City.
I swear to God, I just heard the door again.
Really?
I'm not even joking that time. I immediately looked. And nothing happened, so we're good.
Creepy.
But we're just sitting here staring. Oh my God, it's so distracting at this point.
I know.
Anyway, so the
goodness.
first female prisoner, Amelia Eddy, she was there in 1842. And she was incarcerated for grand larceny. But she was literally only there a few days.
That's crazy.
Grand larceny, and she got pardoned.
Right.
You committed a crime, and you were incarcerated. Now get this. She was pardoned because they didn't have adequate facilities for her.
But that just opened up a whole another...
You did a crime.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't have adequate facilities? You committed a crime. You do the time, regardless of your facilities. Which doesn't look like it was fun.
No.
I don't think any prison honestly is.
And most women were incarcerated for violations like immigration,
conspiracy against the law, which was huge at that time because it was World War I.
Yeah.
Back in the time. So people would women would get incarcerated conspiracying against the law during that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's the majority of the women. I think overall they had maybe around 60 women living there.
Yeah.
Now eventually they had, so the first building they lived in, the first building that they were housed in, the first floor was just a warehouse basically. But the second floor, it had 7 rooms that 4 women would share. And then it had the dining hall, a workroom, matron's room,
And
It wasn't very big.
5-story building, right?
No, not that one. This one was only 2.
Oh, okay.
So you only had 2 stories, and you had 7 rooms between, like, 60 prisoners.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then they finally built a second one. And that one was separated from the men by a 20-foot stone wall.
Yeah.
So then they finally probably,
yeah.
got segregated a little bit. But I really do wonder, like, if they did see each other and, like, communicated and all that. I mean, you would think.
Right.
There was no history on any separation before then.
Right.
Like, obviously not living in the same quarters, but
yeah.
I mean, you never know. This place was huge, though.
Yeah.
Didn't you say it was like 47 acres?
Yeah.
That's ginormous.
Yep.
And it was known as, like, what did they call it?
Times Magazine called it, what was it? Missouri State Penitentiary was the bloodiest 47 acres in America. The bloodiest 47 acres. And they had a whole lot of executions that happened. They couldn't keep track because there was so many of them.
There were so many that they couldn't keep track?
Yeah.
And that's why it was called that?
Yeah. There was something about where there were so many executions happening that they were trying, I guess at one point they were trying to keep track of them, but then there were so many that they didn't.
They were just like, yeah, we're killing too many people. I'm just not going to record this one.
Right.
What's another one? What's another 2? What's another 10? What?
Crazy.
What? Well, I know they did the gas chamber, which is different.
Yeah. And then there was a time where they were doing hangings.
What an awful way to die.
Yeah, I couldn't. No. Mm-mm.
I mean, dying in general is just awful.
They don't know the exact number of hangings that went on there.
Do they have, like, do you know? I didn't do much research on, like, execution or anything like that, but, like, an electrocution chair or...
Another gas chamber. Was there no lethal injection?
Yeah.
They had lethal injection.
A big one everywhere.
I don't think I've seen anything about an execution chair, though.
So mostly it was gas chambers and hanging.
Yeah.
And then lethal injection.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Dang.
Crazy. Yeah.
If you had to pick one of those, which one? If you had to.
Oh, I wanted it to be quick, so I'd probably have to say lethal injection.
Yeah, I feel like, you're just going to sleep at that point.
Yeah.
Gas chamber, I feel like you'd be, like, choking.
Right.
And suffering.
You suffer a little bit before you go. And hanging, same
Absolutely
deal.
not. No.
That's just...
That's snapping your neck.
That's torture.
That is snapping your neck.
Yes.
Nope,
can't do it.
No.
Yeah. And then they had the dungeons, which was the basement, where they housed prisoners.
Wasn't that like solitary confinement?
Yeah.
Is what they called it?
Yeah, they said that they didn't see any type of light except for when their guards would come and open their little doors to put their food in.
How'd they get their food?
Right.
Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if there's no light...
Yeah, it's dark.
You open it, you get your food, so you have your plate, but, like...
You don't know what it is.
You know?
Yeah, what if you got pudding and you done stuck your fingers in your pudding?
Just... Gross.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
You don't even know what you're
Imagine
eating.
what is in the dungeons and you're sticking... Ooh.
You're just blindly eating your food. Don't know what you got. I couldn't do it. That sounds like some Fear Factor stuff.
It really does.
You know?
Like, they could put a cockroach in it,
Oh.
and you would eat a cockroach at that point.
Ugh.
I wonder if the guards did that.
Probably.
Like, they're all shitbag prisoners. So.
Yeah, they probably did some nasty stuff to their food. They didn't care. Dropped it on the floor. Oh, let me scoop that back on there.
Piece of bread on the floor.
Let me finger your food.
But people lived down here for, wasn't it like 17 years?
17 years was the longest. And then another person was in there for 11 years.
I would go insane.
I would too.
Like...
Not seeing any daylight for 17 years. Not being able to communicate with anybody else.
I had an intrusive thought. As I normally do. How do they go to the bathroom?
That's a good question.
Like, do you have to feel around the walls?
Right?
Or do you sniff around? Intrusive thought, I'm sorry.
Did they have buckets like the other prisons?
How would you find your bucket?
Right, you kick it over and then, oop, there went all your feces.
There went your shit.
You just lost your shit.
You physically just lost your shit. And your piss. Just everything.
Oh, God.
No, but seriously, how would you go to the bathroom?
Yeah. I don't know.
How would you go to the bathroom? I don't get it.
Yeah.
We'll start it over. Well, not start over. Hang on. And we're back. Sorry, we didn't really want to talk about shit and piss when children are walking in. So if you did hear the door, that was actual humans, not ghosts. Anyway, speaking of shit and piss, yeah, the buckets, where would they be? Or did they have buckets?
Yeah.
Or did they have an actual toilet that they had to, you know? I just don't.
And not only that, but you had 6 inmates in a cell down there.
You think they fought? And like,
Oh, yeah.
how do you know if someone's...
How
do you know who you're fighting?
They probably bumped heads a lot.
How do you know what they look like?
Yeah.
What if you are like a 4'11" scrawny man down there, and you're talking shit
to a 600-pound
6
big
foot
dude,
big old football player dude?
Yeah. Oh, you gonna get your butt whooped.
You're just gonna get eaten. I don't know. English is hard.
Oh my God.
But yeah, like, I don't know.
That'd be rough.
I like the dark, don't get me wrong, so that's why, like, ghost hunting is perfect for me, because I like being in dark places. Dark, scary places I like it. But I don't think I could do it for, 17 years consecutively.
No.
I like a little bit of light in my life.
Just a little.
Just a smidge.
I mean, you did get a little when they brought your food.
For 30 seconds.
Yeah, if that. Good Lord. That's rough.
That's really rough, man. And then there was riots.
Oh, yeah.
Well, one main riot. So on September 22nd, I think it was 1954?
Mm-hmm.
So there was like a bunch of riots going across like the U.S. and they knew it was going to happen in Missouri. I keep wanting to say Mississippi because there's another one there.
Yeah.
So we'll do that one too. But Missouri, they knew it was coming. So this one was ginormous though. Like there were 2,500 inmates rioting at the same time.
Yeah. Setting stuff on fire.
Smashing tables, smashing
Breaking
chairs.
windows.
Throwing bricks at the warden's office.
Oh.
So the way that this riot started was 2 inmates faked an illness. And they got the attention of 2 guards. Mm-hmm. And then they beat the shit out of one guard. And took the keys. What did the other guard do? He's just like, yeah, man.
He's probably like, here, take whatever you want.
Just me alone.
Don't kill me.
My key.
Yeah, that's...
You had weapons and you got... Like, that... I'm sorry, but that's like a fair fight at that point.
If there wasn't other inmates around.
There was only 2.
Oh, yeah, okay.
There was only 2. It was 2 on 2.
Then...
something seems a little weird.
Yeah.
It was 2 on 2, and I'm sure the guards had weapons.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
But they got overpowered. One got the crap beat out of them.
Then again, this was 1954. Did they have... No.
What were you just about to ask?
Nothing,
I'm intrigued.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
What?
I was gonna say, did they have tasers back then?
Oh, I mean, that's honest. That's not a bad question. I thought you were about to say, like, were there guns back then? And I'm like,
no, there were guns.
We had fought a whole 2 world wars.
Oh, Lord.
I thought we were gonna have to fight or something, but tasers, that's a fair question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tasers is a new thing. Well,
right.
Not new, but like a newer.
Yeah. They probably just
2000s.
Just the guns and batons or whatever.
Is that what they call them, batons?
Is it batons?
I think.
Nunchucks?
You did not just call that a nunchuck. Nunchuck is 2.
Yeah, with the
like
the chain.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
those are the nunchucks.
Good Lord.
Oh my God. I am so sorry for everyone who's still watching.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh, nunchucks.
Anyway.
Jesus Lord. Anyway, back to, weapons.
Yeah. Riots
Riots and weapons.
They would set anything that they could possibly catch on fire. They would set it on fire. That's crazy.
And it continued, and it got to the point where they had to call in highway troopers, National Guardsmen, local PD, St. Louis and Kansas City PD. I mean, and then obviously all the guards that work there.
The National Guard itself, I mean, that's
huge.
Yeah.
And they surrounded the entire prison. And get this, no one successfully escaped. You did all that work.
Right.
For nothing. For nothing. Because
that's kind of impressive.
Impressive on, like, the guards and the...
Yeah. That they were able to contain everybody in there and not, have one or two disappear.
Right. Like, no one escaped from it.
Yeah.
But then people escaped, like, actually from the prison.
Yeah.
So, like, that's unfortunate.
And the troopers were forced to use gunfire on them.
Yeah.
Which a couple of them did get hit.
4 inmates died. 4 police officers were injured. 50 inmates were injured. And 1 was attempted suicide, actually.
Oh. And I think, too, like, once they started opening fire, they were like, they all gave up. They were all surrendered.
Well, more than half of them did. There was about 300 in, I think it was B and C blocks, that they were, like, they knew that they were using gunfire, right? Yeah. And they had concern for, like, their safety and everything, but they were just like, you know what? No, screw this, man. I'm not surrendering. So the guards just were like, you know what? They'll get tired eventually. Just make sure they're not getting out. So they just posted up and waited throughout the night, and then it eventually died down. And yeah, that was the big riot of 1954.
And the damage was estimated at what, $5 million?
Yeah, $5 million.
That's a lot.
And we're talking not $5 million, like
today's $5 million? Yeah,
like $5 million in 1954.
Yeah,
which. Do the math, because I suck at math. But
Me too. But back then, that was a lot of money.
Oh, shit, today it's a lot of money. But, like, $5 million back then is probably shit. Like, what, 20 million today?
Yeah,
so true. Put that into, perspective when you're thinking how much damage that actually is. Like, that's a lot.
Crazy. And then the governor did a shakedown of, like, the prison or whatever, and they found a bunch of sledgehammers and... knives and...
Yep, knives and scissors and even, like, machinery that was filed down to a shiv, basically. Just anything and everything. Like, they found a, like, huge arsenal.
Right.
That prisoners had. So imagine, like, they hadn't found that, and then these prisoners had time to, like, plan another riot.
Right.
It could have gone a whole nother way.
Ooh.
Like, only 4 died. Which is still a lot, but, like...
I was looking...
Dog snoring, sorry.
I was expecting like 100 or something like that. A lot more than just 4. For having a huge riot like that.
2,500 prisoners.
Yeah.
That's a lot. At that point, I'd be one of those guards like, yeah, just, I'll be out here.
Yep.
With my gun. I'll make sure they don't get out, but I ain't going in there.
And who was the guy that escaped the prison?
Well, I'm sure there was multiple.
Yeah.
But, fun fact, the guy who killed Martin Luther King Jr. escaped from this prison. Yeah. So I think he escaped before he killed him. So he escaped, and he like worked in the bakery, and he escaped by getting in like a shipment of bread, and got into the truck in a shipment, and just left.
Sneaky.
That is, I just don't understand.
Yeah. I wonder how long
it was too easy for him, I feel like.
Right. I wonder how long it took for them to discover that he was missing.
Probably not long.
Yeah.
Who's back in the bakery?
I mean, you think after that shift, they have to do the count. And if you're missing...
Yeah.
Goodness.
Then a couple of years later, he ended up assassinating Martin Luther King Jr.
Yep.
I don't know where he went after that. But...
I don't know.
Yeah, fun fact. He was at this prison and escaped. But I didn't look too much into who all escaped. Or...
Yeah. One of my favorites, the fun fact about this, was Sonny Liston. the famous boxer, was in this prison.
There's no ghost. It's just a car. Continue.
But yeah, Sonny Liston was in this prison, and this is kind of where he became the famous boxer, because he would box like inmates in there, and it was cool. And Sonny Liston, so kind of going off topic here, but my ex-husband's last name is Liston, and so my daughter was kind of named after Sonny Liston.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I called her Summer, but we call her nickname is Sunny.
I didn't know that. I mean, as soon as she brought up, like, we have papers that she prints every day for the research that we find, and I saw Liston, and I was like, huh, what a name. And she was like, I know, right? And then she tells me this, and I'm like, oh, shit, no idea.
Yeah, he was in that prison because he was charged with robberies, 2 armed robberies and larceny. What else was there? I forget. But yeah, that's where he learned the box, and that's kind of where he came up from there. And he was a well-known heavyweight boxer. What is it? The publishers immediately contacted the Board of Probation and Parole and ended up getting paroled in 1952. He fought Floyd
Patterson, I think.
Patterson,
was on
yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking Mayweather.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather.
If he would have said Mayweather, I would have been like, delete, we're done. We delete the channel.
In 1964, he defeated Cassius Clay, who was also known as Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Crazy. Fun fact. Prisons are not cool. But
They house everybody.
yeah.
Famous people.
Yeah.
They become famous in there. I mean, what
Yeah.
else is there to do besides...
I feel like workout, box,
Yeah.
work. I mean, like in Alcatraz, we were talking about how the dude wrote books
Mm-hmm.
because he physically had nothing else to do.
Right.
I don't know. It's just crazy in there.
Yeah.
And then there was that couple that was executed too.
Yeah.
They like kidnapped a young boy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You did more research on this part.
Yeah, it was a young boy. They held him for they demanded ransom of like $600,000. And
Which is a lot of money.
yeah, and I guess the couple paid him off. Like, they were paid off, and then come to find out that they still killed the boy. That's messed up. But yeah, he was found buried and killed. Or killed and buried, however you say that.
Buried and then killed. I mean, technically you're not wrong by saying that.
Yeah.
You could bury someone alive and then you'd kill them. Either way you say it.
But they were both arrested and sentenced to death.
Well, they lived together, loved together, and then
Sounds like
they died together.
Bonnie and Clyde almost.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
One of the names is Bonnie.
Yeah.
It was Bonnie Heedy, I think.
Yeah, and Carl Austin.
As soon as I read that, I was like, Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde, yep.
But, you know, they got away with a lot more, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So there's just so much about this place. There's so many inmates. There's serial killers and just a lot. There's women prisoners that were activists in there and they made a huge impression. There's so much history on this place, but like this is the stuff that we found was like the most interesting.
Yeah.
So I know it's not really a lot, but it's a cool place. I looked at a lot of pictures and I'm like, dang, we definitely gotta go.
Right.
Especially since it's 47 acres. Like, that's huge.
That's a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
And it's 5 stories.
Yeah.
And, oh, can you imagine going down to the dungeon?
You're going.
Doing, what do you call it?
Estes?
Yeah.
You're going.
Ooh. Good Lord. No-nos.
I told you what it meant last time, and she just called it no-nos. Disappointment. Disappointment. Nose goes.
Nose goes.
Nose goes.
Nose goes. Okay.
Unreal. Tent City.
Goodness gracious.
Can't. Anyway, guys, let us know what you thought. If you want to buy our merch, let us know, because we have a website that we're working on to put this up.
Yes.
But if you want it sooner, follow us on Instagram. We have a TikTok. We have a Discord.
Mm-hmm.
You can join the Discord. Everything's attached to our YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, help us out. It helps more than you guys know.
Yeah.
It keeps us going. It truly does. Just, yeah, anything. But we will catch you guys next week for another prison.
Bye.